Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Eli and I run my own small business, Crochet Made by Eli. I'm also on Instagram and TikTok under the same username, and I've got an Etsy where I sell my physical items and patterns. As you guys can see from the caption, this is another market review video, so I'm gonna bring you guys through my fourth market and let you guys know how everything goes. Now, the audio did get messed up in a couple of these clips, and unfortunately I wasn't able to use as much content as I would have liked, as the audio was just not usable. But don't worry, I will be getting a mic before my next market so that hopefully the audio can be a little more consistent in the future. But I was still able to get at least a few usable clips this time. Now, if you guys are newer here, I do have a lot of other videos up on my channel. I've got market prep, market reviews, crochet vlogs, crochet challenges. So there's a whole lot for you guys to catch up on. Now, with all that being said, let's get into the video. Good morning, guys. It is market day. It's 7:30 a.m. and I am tired, but we are up and ready for the market. Everything is already packed in the van. We packed it all last night, so I just need to pack my bag and my project for the market because I haven't actually decided what I want to work on during the market. But I know the next project I wanted to do was a cute little sunflower dragon, so I think I'll bring the yarn for that. But we're planning to leave at 8 for the market and then do setup and everything, and the market starts at 10. It's running from 10 to 3, so same as the last one. Nice 5-hour block. Yeah, I am very excited for this one. I have a lot of items prepped, so I am hoping this goes well, but as usual, I'm trying not to go in with too many expectations because it's gonna go however it goes and I can't really control that. But I have prepped basically as much as I can, and we're gonna do a little bit of a different setup this time, just a few small tweaks, so I am excited. I actually brought my tripod this time so that I can actually sit my camera up like this so we can get a much better angle than how I've had it previously, so that is great. And because I'm on the end, I can record without worrying about anyone being in the background, which is good because obviously I do not want anyone in the background because it takes a while to blur them out. So this is get a much better setup. But it is 9:40, market starts in 20 minutes. There's a lot of really cool vendors out here, a few crochet ones. Just made my first sale. I sold one possum, which is $8, so that's exciting. Alright, it is 11 a.m. No more sales so far. It's been very quiet again, and it is very windy. I'm worried. I'm very worried about my tent because it keeps moving, and I realized we forgot to put the Velcro pieces on it to secure the top down, like this part. So I fixed what I could, but my mom is coming back to help because I am too short to get the rest of it. So she's coming back to help soon, which will be good. But there's been some people. I'm hoping it picks up more as the day goes on. So it is just after 12. It's still very, very quiet. No more sales. So as much as I love this venue, it's really well set up and organized, it is not busy at all. It's a busy road, but not a spot that a lot of people are stopping, which is a little discouraging. I feel like I've prepped it basically as much as I can, and now it's just up to people actually being here, and at the moment there's not a lot of people here. We still have almost 3 hours left, so it might get busier as it goes on, which will be great. But so far all I've sold is the one possum for $8. But what I did do is there was some really good lighting for a bit, some nice sun, so I took good pictures of all my items, and it's windy. I'm going to be making Etsy listings for all of them and posting them on my stories online, so I might be able to get some sales there. Just took advantage of the good lighting, you know. And my mom came by with extra weights for the tent and helped me just make sure it's fully secured because it is windy and I was was getting worried. There were a few times I stood up and I was just holding it because I was getting really anxious that it was gonna get messed up. But so far nothing's falling, it's just everything's blowing around a little bit, but I think we're good still.
Hello.
Hello.
You're always busy over
Yes.
here.
The possums, yes.
I love stuff like that. But so do my dogs.
Yes, same.
Yay!
So it's just after 1. I just sold 2 more things, which is awesome. I sold 2 cappies and I sold the dark orange ones, which is cool because I wasn't sure which ones would do better, like the gold or the kind of dark burnt orange, but I sold 2 of the dark orange and they're $6 each. So I got $12, so that's great. Things are blowing a little bit. But I've made $20 now and my booth fee was $50, so I still have not made my booth fee and don't really know if I will. But making good progress on my dragon. So I just added in the wings. I've got the 2 legs. His face is so cute. And I'm gonna do a big sunflower on the tail for this one. I was thinking on the wings I could have done like big points to try to be like sunflower petals, but I think they're fine. He's so cute. I did sell 1 more item. I sold another possum for $8, so I'm now at $28, halfway to my booth fee. It's 1:30 now, so it's only been a few minutes, but we still got an hour and a half left. So we'll see, maybe we'll hit the booth fee. Sold 1 more item. It is, the bees are attacking. It's 1:40. I sold 1 more item. It was the squid for $10. So I think I'm at 38 now. I'm getting closer. Getting closer. It's almost 3 o'clock. We're gonna be we're gonna be closing down in about 10 minutes. I haven't sold anything else, but I did do a trade. Another vendor who I actually have seen before, she got one of my pickles, my $5 pickle, and I got a little pain reliever thing. Totally threw my phone there. Hey guys, it is the next day after the market and I'm ready to review how everything went. Now, I don't really have much more information to give you other than what was said in the previous clips, but we can still do a full review on what I was able to sell and make. Now, as you guys saw from the clips, I was unfortunately not able to sell much. It was just a very dead and quiet market again. I'm trying very hard to not be discouraged about that and take it personally, as there's only so much I can do if the people aren't there to buy the products. Like I said, there were also a lot of other crochet vendors there, and even though we all had different items, it still just meant that there were a lot of choices for customers, and with there being a ton of choices and not a ton of customers, that means there's not going to be a lot of sales for each vendor. So I wasn't able to make back my booth fee, but I still sold a few things, which I am happy about. The top seller was a tie between the possums and the capybaras. So I sold 2 of the possums at $8 each. And I also sold 2 of the capybaras at $6 each. On top of that, I did sell my squid for $10, so that was great because he's been at a couple markets. And I did a trade for a $5 pickle. So I didn't make any money from that pickle because we did a trade, but technically it's an item I got rid of, so the total that I made was $38. The booth fee was $50, so I came out of this market at negative $12. Which again, not a great feeling, but not something I can really control. But one of the good things about the market is I was able to make a lot of progress on that dragon that I was working on. So let me show you guys the finished product because she turned out adorable. Here she is. Isn't she just beautiful? I did this sunflower tail and I'm really happy with how this turned out. That's how it looks on the back. I added her eyes, of course, and I think they turned out really pretty as well. I feel like I've made a lot of improvements with my embroidery and just my eyes in particular, and I'm really happy with how they're looking. But this is probably like the 5th time maybe I've made this pattern, and I've gotten pretty comfortable with the adjustments that I make. Like I said, it is the No Sew Dragon pattern by Crochet by Jenna. I just make a few adjustments. So the first one I make is with the baubles. I keep them going for a few rows longer than the pattern says. I also make the tail quite a bit longer. I believe the pattern has it stop around here and just kind of be like a shorter little nubby tail. I prefer my dragons with a long tail. Honestly, it could even be longer than this. But that's really all the adjustments I make, as well as just the placement of the legs and wings based on my tension. But I've gotten really comfortable with this pattern, and I need to make so many more. I did have a purple and pink one at this market. You guys will be seeing that one at some point. If you haven't seen it yet, it will be in my August recap video showing everything I made during August. But I think that for that purple and pink one, I need to add some sort of tail like applique, because this is beautiful and the other one needs to be as cool as this. But I will say that is probably the best part of this market, is making this dragon. I did also have just a good time in general, a lot of really good conversations with other vendors. My health did come up in conversations quite a lot because it was so dead that we were all just kind of standing around chatting, and you know, the conversation would come to of, why are you standing if you have a wheelchair? So, but every conversation I had, the people were very respectful and just, you know, genuine curiosity, which is totally fine. And I definitely enjoyed those connections with the other vendors. I saw a couple people that I've seen before at other events, so that was nice to reconnect with them. I do have, I think, 4 more events coming up with the same coordinator. It's one a month for the rest of the year, but I've started applying for a couple other small ones in between those, just because if these ones are gonna stay quite small, I want to make sure I have opportunities for some, you know, other experiences. But I am trying to make sure I don't apply for too many and overwork myself, because 1 a month I'm okay with, 2 a month might be pushing it for me and just my health and everything. But in general, I will say that even though I didn't make a profit from this market, I still think it was a successful event anyways. And again, this means I don't need to prep much for my next market because I have a ton of products already. I'm just going to replace the ones that I did sell and focus on making some bigger, really cool and interesting pieces. At the time of filming this, I'm currently working on a crochet vlog where I go through and remake a bunch of my old patterns, like my butterfly, my pumpkins, and some of my character designs, like Jake the dog, Gunter the penguin, and Lumpy Space Princess. So make sure you guys stay tuned, because those videos will be coming out in the next couple of weeks. And at this point, if you haven't subscribed yet, but you watched this whole video, make sure you subscribe now and hit that notification button so that you get notified every time I make an upload and you never miss a video. Don't forget as well to like this video, and feel free to comment what your favorite item was. We all know that this one was my favorite, but I want to hear from you guys. Thank you again for watching this video, and hopefully I will see you next week. Bye!